Hello everyone, I'm Sharon with Entelechy Visions, and this is an energy update for the week of April 7th through April 14th. So what do we have happening this week? So we just finished a new moon in Aries, which helped to really change the tides, lighten the energy, and contribute to the acceleration. So as we move deeper into this month, you'll find that the energy really begins to pick up, and this particular week will kind of alleviate a lot of that fog, that denseness that we've been feeling and all that we have gone through, because I know this past week, even leading up to the new moon, was a doozy, because we're just waiting and kind of ruminating in all of the things that we learned and reflected upon in the Mercury retrograde period, which was no joke. It really left nothing untouched. It was going through all of our belief systems, all of our patterns, all of our ego stuff, and it was all up here, and it was telling us these illusions over and over again in our minds. So that is complete, but those lessons that were learned and all of that deep introspection that we were doing is now being alleviated, so we can see some clarity and begin to apply those lessons to our life. So right now the theme is being highlighted of soul mission, and I've been hearing this a lot intuitively, that this is kind of like us stepping into our next phase, our next role as light workers, as light bearers on this planet, but really highlighting why we came here in the first place. Because just to kind of move out of our linear perspective, even our personalities and ego minds for a moment, and see things from the grander view. Let's see things from that higher perspective and see that we incarnated here for a reason, that your soul chose this particular time on the planet to be here at this time, and it chose exactly the personality to have, the gifts, the skills that you have to offer, the things that you would be drawn to express in your world and your life, even the family that shaped you. All of these things were chosen on a soul level before you incarnated here on this planet. So things may feel super erratic and wild on the earth right now. I know they're very accelerated, and it's going to be even more so accelerated. But just to see that we are here for this larger plan. We are here to help to shift this big transition, help to raise up the collective at large. And that's not being that someone is better than another. We're just at different periods on our path, but we are all one. And so it doesn't matter where you are on your path, we are all connected in this entire plan, in this huge experience of ascension and accelerating as a collective consciousness. So you're here for a reason, and right now we're experiencing even more of that acceleration. You're going to find that in this year of 2019, that acceleration will amp up even more. So we are kind of at that point where it's just going to be this increasing trajectory of our growth as a planet. And with that can come challenges. With that can come dismantling of old ways, of old systems. But know that you are here for a reason, and you're drawn to this type of video for a reason, because you hold that certain stream to hold the light for others. And it's very important to not get drawn into other people's agendas or fears or doubt your expansion of light, because there is a lot of that going on right now, of others trying to diminish those who are holding the light. That is just an illusion and fear-based agendas with that. So try to stay strong in this. There may be some mini storms as we go throughout this year. I'm being called to share this message, obviously, because we are stepping into this new chapter for ourselves and for our lives. And a big part of this is remembering our mission, remembering our soul path, and aligning with our truth. So what is the truth for you? What feels in full alignment for your expression and the reason that you came here to the planet? And a good indication of that is, what are you drawn to? What lights you up inside that makes you feel like you are in your flow and it feels completely natural when you are doing it? That is what you're being called to offer. So move more towards that, because that is much needed. That specific thread of gifts and skills and expressions that you have, it is what is needed for the planet at large at this time. So what else do we have going on aside from that? With the truth to our path, you'll find that the new moon and also the full moon later on this month, which I will talk about as that gets closer, will highlight relationships. And that's going to touch upon all relationships, business and personal, and just kind of checking in with those relationships intuitively inside, checking with yourself and seeing, is this in alignment with me? Is this in alignment with my path? Am I feeling resonant with this person? And if it's someone that's been there even for some time, you can still question that. Whether that's romantic or business or friendship or family. Just really doing an assessment. Is this for my highest good? Is this healthy for my path? And is this ultimately aligned with my truth and what I came here to offer as a soul here on this planet at this time? So those are really big questions, I know, to ask, but it's so important right now because we are kind of like sponges. We can be influenced by so many different people and so many different energies that it's good to have that discernment and to see, is this person blocking me or holding me back in some way? Is this still meant for me? Is this still for my highest good? So just having that checkpoint with yourself and being mindful of who you're surrounding yourself with and who is part of your tribe that's going to support you in this next phase of your mission. So with this past phase of the Mercury retrograde and all of that internal energy and work, you may have found that you were kind of stuck up here in your head. I know that I was feeling it. So the mental energy was on fire. It was pretty intense. And it may not have just been your personal stuff, all the old energies releasing and kind of coming up into the mind like a movie that was being played out, but it was just this old energy. It could also be you picking up on the collective energies because everyone was kind of doing that process within themselves. So we were a lot up here. And it's not always healthy to stay up in the head. That had its own process and purpose to do that, but a gentle reminder to come back to the heart now and to come back to the body. And a good way to do that is to go within, to have some inward time, to have some meditative time, or to even exercise. Because if you're finding that your mental energy is so active right now, because we're still kind of coming out of that period and experiencing the symptoms and all that period dredged up for us. So if meditation is a little tricky, if you're feeling a little bit hyper with your thoughts, then to work it into the body. And try to go for a walk, get some exercise, do some stretching, go for a run, something to kind of work that energy out. And that will also help you to ground as well. So you can bypass the mind and come back into the body as well. So ultimately, we can offer the greatest expression of ourselves through our light, through our gifts, and that is self-mastery. That is our soul mission. Whatever we are being called to express, that is what's needed for the planet at this time. So co-create your life, because it's up to you to shape your path ahead. And with divine assistance and support, you can align your path through your thoughts, your intentions, through your feelings and your heart space, and then taking inspired action to that. So co-creation is ultimately your soul mission. So we have a lighter month ahead. I know it's been really, really tough, but things are going to get a little bit easier. Just hang in there, and I hope you have a beautiful week ahead, a beautiful spring. And if you need additional support and you would like to book a remote or in-person session, you can contact me at enteleckyvisions.com. And you can ask me any questions. I love to hear from you. And this is also a mural that I created, and you can view my artwork at sharonsteluto.com. Have a lovely day, and thank you for listening.